Hello, I'm Andrus, AARP Louisiana Volunteer State President. Today I'm here to speak about the Andrus Award for Community Service, which is our association's most prestigious and visible state volunteer award for community service. I have the pleasure today to speak with AARP Louisiana's 2021 Andrus Award winners, and there is no one more well-deserving or harder working than Natalie and Alfred Basin. Thank you for sitting with me today. And I'm looking forward to a great conversation with my friends.
Thank you, Bobby. It's our pleasure.
Great. So, as you know, and probably you more than most, AARP values the spirit of volunteerism and the important contributions volunteers make to their communities, their neighbors, and the programs that they serve. This is exemplified in the life and service of Alfred and Natalie. Each year, we solicit nominations from across Louisiana to honor the one individual, in this case, a team, who exhibits our founders' legacy of service to others. The selection decision is often difficult, but not in this case because of Natalie's and Alfred's life of service to community. Natalie and Alfred, if we can begin, if you could tell me a little about yourself. Can I also say that you're native Louisianians?
Well, I am. I was born in New Orleans, and I we moved to the little town of Darrow after Hurricane Katrina, and we now live in Darrow, which is south of Gonzales.
And I am not a native Louisianian, but was born in Mississippi, moved to permanently to New Orleans in 1954, and did school, all of that, work, the whole 9 yards in Louisiana. So I've been here so long, you may as well say that I am a native.
Right. I hear you. Not quite, but almost. And so,
Almost.
yeah. And both of you have dedicated a lifetime to our state. So, can you tell me a little about your previous careers and how you might still be using those skills in your former work life that you use in retirement by giving back to the community?
Well, I'm a 30-year career with the U.S. Postal Service. I work with the public, and I enjoy interacting with people. And in my positions, in everything I've done with AARP, I like working with people. So it's a continuation of what I've always done.
And with me, I did not work with the public per se. I worked for a check printing company, Deluxe Check Printers. It is the nation's largest check printer. I was a supervisor there, so I interacted with my employees or the employees of the company. But we also both did some service with the Masonic Order. And I guess that's where our volunteerism came in. I was district deputy for the New Orleans area, and we did things like feeding the homeless, adopting families, and things of that, blood drive, and things of that nature. So I guess that's where that public service came in as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, there's so many activities that you're both involved in, and not only with AARP, but outside of AARP in your own communities, both where you came from in New Orleans and where you are today, and in that area. And we could spend a lot of time discussing each of those. But what I'd like to do is maybe try to touch on the highlights of some of those activities. And some of our viewers might want to know how do you work with your local AARP chapter?
Well, as AARP Chapter 1449 moved to the Gonzales area in 2009, and I was the first president. And the president now is Al. But we have worked the chapters worked with the 2 nursing homes in Gonzales, and also the Ark of East Ascension. We do food drive every year, and we also have an annual health fair.
And as far as my tenure is concerned, we continued on. We're also very active with the advocacy committee. And we have a very active advocacy committee chairperson who loves politics. So that kind of makes it easier for me to let her show her stuff, as you can, as I guess the saying is, and just get out of her way and let her do what she knows how to do.
Yeah. So I think we have a mutual acquaintance, I'll say, that I know who got me involved more deeply in some of AARP's activities. Um, and that's Margie Dominic. And Margie is
Yes.
no longer with us today, but she was very active with AARP, the state office, especially in the chapters. And she was a doer. She would get things done, and she would make you feel like you wanted to be that doer too, and help it as much as you could. So something that others may also want to know about is some of your work with AARP Louisiana State Office. And I know one that you just mentioned, Alfred, was the Capital Advocacy Team. And I think that's how you and I first uh, got to know each other, was working with that group. And let's talk a bit about some of those other things uh, we both work with in the Louisiana State Office.
Well, prior to the pandemic, we were state office volunteers. We worked in the state office 2 days a week. And as mentioned, the Capital Advocacy Team, we were a part of that. We were part of Movies for Grown Ups and the Fraud Watch Network. We did Fraud Watch presentations at our local library on a monthly basis. And since everything is now gone virtual, we enjoy working with the Fraud Watch Helpline.
Yeah, the helpline has been a source of fulfillment, I guess you could say, in that it's stressful on one side, but the rewards are worth the stress, if that makes any sense. To see or to hear the sound of an individual after you've given him or her information as to what they can do to correct a mistake that they made and to ease the pressure and the tension that they put on themselves because they know they have done something they shouldn't have and they've beaten themselves up for it, and we've tried to calm them down and let them know that they are not at fault. They are really a victim, whether they realize it or not. Being able to take a little of the pressure off and give them some guidelines to seek help is where the reward is.
Yeah, and I think too often, like you said, they feel like they've done something wrong, but in a real sense, they've been targeted, and these people
Exactly.
who target, whoever they are, whether they're seniors or they're veterans or couples down the street. That's a business for these crooks and these criminals, and once they can understand that, and what's helpful is to know their story so that it can be shared with other folks and
Exactly.
hopefully be a step ahead and let other people know that they don't have to suffer alone. One of the things that you said, Natalie, was, and in talking about the Fraud Watch Network helpline and Fraud Watch Network presentations, that's all part of the Speakers Bureau that
Correct.
you are both involved with, and as am I when folks call groups with presentations, and y'all have been very active there. And another thing that is also on my list of things that you guys do is Live at Home LA. I know that y'all are active in that area as well.
Yes, we are active with that as well. We again, it goes back to our legislative chairperson. She thoroughly enjoys what she does, and it makes it easier to work with her to accomplish the goals that she's trying to reach. We have, I won't call the name, but we have one of our local senators' family is a part of our chapter. So that kind of gives us a little access that otherwise we probably wouldn't have. And it also helps to make the programs work.
Yes, absolutely. So, what we've been talking about is a lot of your volunteer activities with AARP, and certainly, we like to see that. But the Andrus Award is not just about volunteering with AARP, and in fact, you don't even have to be an AARP member. And I feel like there are other volunteer activities that you're both involved in your community, and if you could mention one or two of those. We don't have to go through the whole laundry list, but one or two. I heard you say something about a blood drive and maybe a
Yeah,
food
well, we are very active in the community. We came, as Nat said, we came here in 2006 after having lived for her entire life up until Katrina in New Orleans. So once we got here and got involved in the community, from the early outset when we got here, we were still traveling back and forth to New Orleans for church. And one day we woke up and the weather was too bad to drive to New Orleans, so we found a local church in this area and became a part of it. So we are active as well with our church. We got involved with the Ark of East Ascension through the chapter. So we're working with those young people that have mentally and physically handicaps. We support them. This is one of the chapter adopted support teams that are groups that we work with. And as far as the two of us are concerned, we've been married so long, I don't think that one can do anything without the other. We've been married for 63 years. We've known each other since kids, really. She's the first girl I met outside the block that I lived on when I came to New Orleans. We met in church, and we have gotten to the point, I think, where everyone's gotten wise to how to get something done through us. Get either one of us involved, and you get both of us. So we are a team. We even attacked our Ida left us with a little damage to our rear yard fence. So believe it or not, we've been in the yard putting the fence back up together. So we just are a team. God has blessed us that we can work together, we can communicate together, and it's very little that one does without the other getting involved.
We stay busy. Our daughters often tell us that they need to keep a calendar so that they'll know what we are doing, because every day we are doing something.
Well, and that's how you stay active, and
Yeah, and it's also how you stay halfway young, because we're both 81 years old, but believe it or not.
Yeah. No, let me just say, bless you for everything that you do. And Natalie, did you ever think there was going to be a time when you were going to move out of New Orleans?
No, I thought I would be there, but I'm happy for where we are now. I didn't think I would like this area, but I love it.
Funny thing about that, Bob, the funny thing about it, when we evacuated New Orleans, we went to a little small town in northeast Texas. And when we came home and discovered what we had or didn't have left, I sat down and said, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? We could have stayed where we were in Texas or whatever. And the only answer that I got was, I don't want to go back to New Orleans, which really surprised me.
Yeah.
But in essence, I'm glad she didn't, because it didn't matter to me. Wherever she wanted to go, that's where we were going.
Yeah.
But it has proven to be a blessing, because we came to a community that we knew absolutely no one, and we were well received. This chapter has reached out to us, and they treated us as though, as a matter of fact, we have to remind them sometimes that we are not native. You got to tell us things, because there are things that you think we automatically know because we live here, and we don't.
Right.
But it has been a pleasure be in this area. This isn't home. It wasn't home, I should say, but it is now.
Yeah, sometimes when that one door closes, another one opens even wider. And so, if you're open
Yes.
to the possibilities, lots of things can happen. So, for the sake of our viewers and me too, what do you find as the most fulfilling part of volunteering? Is there anything for you that makes volunteering in retirement unique?
Well, I love meeting people, and this has been a great opportunity to get to meet people just by doing things in the community. We find that it's very rewarding and it's a lot of fun.
And I think that's the key. We enjoy. So by being an enjoyable activity, we don't consider it anything other than an enjoyable activity. We've met some nice people. We've been involved. We love interacting with the office staff. We love the presentations. And as Nat says, it keeps us active.
Yeah, when prior to COVID, when y'all were in the office, it was like, people walk in, they expected to see you there. They thought you were part of the staff, and in reality, you are part of the staff because you take that load off of them for them to be able to do the things that they do for the members in the age 50 plus. So another question that I have is what would you say to those who might be considering becoming a volunteer, and particularly becoming a Louisiana volunteer? Any words of encouragement or advice or wisdom for potential volunteers?
Well, I guess the most encouraging thing that I could say to anyone is if they're looking for something that's rewarding, find something in AARP, and there is an awful lot of activities that AARP is involved in that they can find a place that they're comfortable. The thing that I most enjoy about it, no one has ever pressured us to do anything. They've never tried to direct us in one area or another. They've allowed us the freedom of choice. They've allowed us the opportunity to do the things that we enjoy doing the way we enjoy doing it. And anyone who's interested in doing something other than sitting home and watching the paint dry, because that's probably the biggest issue with us as seniors. We reach the point where we give up on ourselves. We feel as though, okay, I've done 99 years of this or that or the other. Yeah, there's nothing left for me to do, and there's an awful lot left to be done. It's not over until it's over. And you can find things with this organization that are rewarding. The movies for grown-ups, just greeting the people as they come in. The other issues, I mean, the Fraud Watch program, the activity with the chapters, there is an awful lot of activities that we still can participate in as seniors and enjoy ourselves.
It is really unbelievable, the activities that AARP is involved in, and we're always looking for that volunteer. And you said it, that there's something for anybody who wants to do something. And it's just a matter of finding out what that right fit is, not trying to pigeonhole you into something that you don't want to do because you're not gonna stay, and it won't be a good experience. So, in summary, a few words that I would like to use to describe Natalie and Alfred. Volunteers extraordinary, involved with AARP, in their church, advocate, inspiring, active, helpful. So Alfred and Natalie, AARP Louisiana is incredibly, incredibly lucky to have you here, working as hard as you do to make the community better. And for any who are watching, if you would like to volunteer with us, AARP Louisiana is always looking for volunteers. But in this time of COVID, we're especially looking for virtual volunteers. So if you're interested, you can contact our Miss Daphne Young, whose address you will see on the screen. She's sitting by her computer, waiting for you to send that email. Natalie and Alfred, on behalf of the AARP Louisiana Executive Council and the Louisiana State Office, congratulations on receiving the 2021 Andrus Award. You could be anywhere doing anything, but you choose to volunteer with AARP Louisiana. And for that, we appreciate you very much and are pleased to give you this small token of our recognition for all the amazing work you're doing. Thank you again for sharing your time with me today and talking about your volunteer activities, not only with AARP Louisiana, but whatever it is that you do in the community. You truly are the best of the best.
We thank you so very much, Bobby, and we appreciate the honor.
Thank you again.